Hey, how's it going? My name is Josh, and in today's video, I want to bring to you one of the creepiest analog horrors I've ever seen, called Vita Carnis. It's by Darian Quilloy. I'm just going to hit play on the first one, and let's just see what happens. Federal law provides severe civil and criminal penalties for the unauthorized viewing of this footage. Any reproduction, distribution, or display of this video is prohibited. The possession of this footage may lead to an investigation and detention. If released from custody, the apprehended will face a penalty of $500,000. I thought this was a documentary. It's weird that they're sort of keeping this away from people. And I mean, with a fine of $500,000, that should work.
On planet
What's
Earth,
the subtitles?
life has thrived for millions of years.
Indeed it has.
Creatures big and small have found ways to adapt and evolve.
The little guy on the right is
in
really
all
cute.
types of environments. From barren wastes to lush forests, life can be found. Earth has homed these creatures since the dawn of life itself.
Ooh.
Only until very recently, things have changed. New life forms have
I just have one question. Why do they look like little kidney beans with 3 legs? What the hell is this thing?
appeared all around the globe and completely changing the balance of nature and what we know about evolution itself.
Okay.
That is why we, at National Living Meat Research, have been studying
National Living Meat Research. That is the weirdest name for like a, I guess, organization. That's the weirdest name I've ever heard.
these new species, trying to help educate everyone about these creatures and their wondrous ways of life.
They look like kidney beans. They can't be that
First,
wondrous.
what are these new life forms?
I'd like to know too. Please
Since their
explain.
explosive arrival across the globe in 1931, there has been much debate on what these newcomers are and where they came from.
Just gone right
Are
off
they
the graph.
extraterrestrials coming to invade Earth? Or are they demons who come from hell to purge humanity?
I reckon they're demons.
From what our scientists have discovered, no.
Cheers,
the
scientists.
origins of these creatures are solely to Earth, miraculously
Is that it? Just no.
nowhere. We don't know why or how, but one thing is for certain, Earth is now their home. What these creatures are is mysterious and still not well known today. But
Yeah, they
here is
do
what
look
we
like kidney
know.
beans.
These creatures are comprised mainly of muscle tissue, organs, and bones.
So no
They
skin.
greatly resemble animals with no skin.
Okay,
or
well, yeah.
store-bought meat. Because of these characteristics,
Store-bought meat.
they have been named accordingly as Vita Carnis. The Carnis species consume decaying, organic matter, but their main diet is composed of raw meat, not including their Carnis relatives.
Okay, so they're not cannibals.
The
They don't eat
Carnis
each
only
other.
appear in places where there is an abundance of crawl, which leads to the first creature of the Carnis species, the crawl. The crawl is a growth of meaty tendrils that closely resemble the small intestine, the only difference being the dark red coloration. These tendrils grow in a similar pattern as vines, mold, or fungi. A primary stem structure is the host to divisions of other, smaller branches.
It's like, it looks like tree roots if they're all like bloody and made of meat. Ugh. Very realistic as well. Like, obviously this is a CG rendering, this is a real thing. But it looked so
And
realistic.
each tendril contains a variety of veins, arteries, and other similar organs used to transport nutrients absorbed from its surroundings. The ends of these tendrils are equipped with organelles used to absorb water and organic matter necessary for growth. The source of these organic materials is mainly found in dirt and soil on surrounding surfaces. Using its root-like tendrils, it absorbs the material and processes it into.
See what I mean? Like, it's so realistic. They've thought of everything. Like, there was a picture there about the anatomy. You know, they showed the arteries, they showed the veins. And they go into detail about how these things live and how these things grow.
Energy. Although, the crawl also obtains energy through another means,
Using electricity.
using a sophisticated form of photosynthesis. The dark pigmentation of the smaller branches is ideal for absorbing sunlight, and therefore allowing solar energy to fuel the crawl's growth. Because of its efficiency, it thrives in almost all types of environments, easily allowing it to spread across the world, and can be found pretty much anywhere. Its recent inclusion in the ecosystem has caused many major changes in nature's balance. One may assume that the crawl's presence may outcompete any other competitors, but due to
like
its unique
crawling
life
in
cycle,
like abandoned
where old
buildings.
branches fall off and decay into nutrient-rich compost, all forms of life seemingly flourish instead. The crawl's abundance grants plenty of nourishment to all animals, from plants feeding on the decayed crawl, herbivores thriving on increased plant population, and carnivores feeding on both the abundant prey, and are able to eat the crawl as well. The presence of all these animals leave behind waste, which will be broken down and consumed by the crawl, and the cycle
So it seems like very eco-friendly.
begins again.
It's quite a good thing.
This form of symbiosis leads to an environment where all populations thrive. Humanity also uses the crawl to our advantage.
What would we do with that?
Because of the supernatural rain of
Oh, it looks so
its
weird.
richness in
Whoa,
nutrients.
whoa. There was something there. Hang on, I'm taking this frame by frame. Radio tower overgrowth with crawl. I can't read that. Has anyone translated this? Okay, I just took a quick look through the comments. I don't
Its
think...
richness in nutrients, it has been sustainably cultivated into domestic farms.
Why, though? Why would you grow this thing in a greenhouse? Also, I just took a look through the comments. It doesn't seem like anyone was able to read it.
The crawl is harvested and processed into fertilizer, which greatly increases crop yield and quality. The crawl may also be used as a food source for humans, and
I don't want to be crunching down on some veins. I mean, imagine you're just in a 5-star restaurant. You know, they put the plate down in front of you. Bam! Plate. And it's filled with, like, this veiny, like, bloody thing. It's horrible.
reliably so. But due to its unkindly appearance and taste, it has yet to reach cuisine standards.
I wonder why.
The crawl also plays a very important role in the next creatures that we have been studying. Sometimes, in a crawl-populated environment, a node of meat may develop on one of the branches. This node will fall off and grow into a functioning organism, and go to live on as an independent animal. This leads us to the upcoming species that we will be discussing. The first of these creatures are the trimmings.
The trimmings. Wait, what was that? What was that? There was something there. Here, right here. I just caught it. I cannot read that. Once upon a time, there was a distant kingdom. The kingdom was blank king, blank queen, blank, and the prince. The royal family were magical. They traveled to the land and sea to discover new places and learn what blank. Alright, on to the next video. This is the same warning as before. So this is number 2. This is talking about trimmings now.
The trimmings.
Ignavus
Trimmings are
carnis.
small animals that resemble
Subtitles.
skinned raccoons. They are
Skinned
commonly known
raccoons.
to have a plump body, round head, small eyes, nose and ear holes,
Ew, look at that thing. It looks like a kidney bean with legs.
and an agape mouth. They are
There's
also
77%
equipped with a
muscle and
diversity of
fat.
limbs. All individual trimmings are unique, each with a different body shape, number of limbs, and other characteristics.
Ew, that one looks like an armadillo
One
with
thing they all
spikes.
share in common is that they are made mostly of meat tissue and are a maximum of 20 centimeters in length, no larger than a basketball.
That looks disgusting.
Its life starts with its separation from the crawl.
Oh, so that's the
People
thing
wanted
that
to find
falls
anything
off.
that is edible and able to consume.
And I guess it grows into this
Although
trimming.
it is an omnivore, being able to hunt meat and forage for plant matter, trimmings are almost entirely scavengers. Their diet consists of rotting plants and meat, including
So they can't really hunt
but
for
not limited
themselves.
to fruits, vegetables, roots, seeds, insects, and deceased animals.
Okay.
Although
wonder
its
what it eat a
appearance is
human.
unsightly, it is
Aw.
a cowardly creature, only fleeing, screeching, and hiding when threatened.
That looks kind of cute.
Because of its lack of defensive traits, it lies near the bottom of the food chain.
Okay, well that's good
making
anyway.
it easily overpowered and picked off very regularly by predators.
Good, because we don't want these things
Naturally,
eating
its
us.
population would eventually die out. This is not the case.
Whoa, there was another thing there. Mass trimming infestation. Estimated 400 plus trimmings gathered under a large abandoned satellite dish.
The crawl constantly produces a large quantity of trimming nodes, keeping up their numbers. Naturally, trimmings can be found wherever there is abundant crawl.
Which is everywhere.
Trimmings grow at a decent pace, reaching maturity at around 7 months, having a
Jesus.
maximum lifespan of 2 to 4 years.
Okay, so they don't really live that long.
Although they are plentiful, humanity has no proper way to implement trimmings into society. Their overabundance has even considered
Ugh,
them
that's
pests,
kind of creepy.
due to them digging through trash bins and making excessive noise at
They look
night.
so scared though. They're kind of cute. They're like raccoons.
Besides all of this, Some people still keep trimmings as pets.
Why would you want a skinned raccoon looking kidney bean with 8 legs? Why would you want that as a pet? Why would you want that in your house? It does look kind of cute though.
And relatively domesticate them. Nuisance or not, trimmings are a wondrous creature. From their plentiful numbers to their skittish nature, they are truly a thing to behold.
Yeah, that's one way to put it.
The next species on our list is the meat snake.
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, that's it. Okay, so I think at the end of each episode, there's like a story. Wait. Excuse me. I can't read this. Skittle is growing so fast. I can't believe it. He and my dog bonded immediately. They share a food bowl and sleep together all the time. I love watching them roll around together, my precious little meat boy. What the During the travels on one of their blank, a great storm struck. It was so powerful it swayed the boat, the royal family blank, and pushed the prince out and into the sea.
The meat snake. The meat snake is a worm-like creature
Ew.
made of a variety of types of meat, coated in a transparent, skin-like membrane.
So it's
Its
see-through.
size varies during its lifespan, depending on how much it consumes. When it first separates from the claw, it is only a few centimeters in length.
It's so realistic.
Eventually, it will reach an average length of 5 meters. Although, under extreme
5 meters. But said it there, it's 16 feet long.
conditions, like natural disasters, war, or plague, it can greatly surpass this.
There was something there. I barely saw
Like
that. Largest meat snake ever discovered. During a sweep of underground settlements made during a war, a massive-sized meat snake was discovered stuck inside an underground railway. The beast was measured at a total of 40 meters in length. It is believed that the bodies gathered during the war were fed to the creature, causing it to reach an unbelievable size. And then everything else is blacked out except for cult activity, which is highlighted. Imagine that, a 40-meter meat snake. For reference, 40 meters is 131 feet.
Surpass this length. The meat snake's diet consists entirely of dead animals or parts. A meat snake is incapable of consuming a healthy, living organism.
I guess it can't really hunt.
The meat snake allocates its food by using a tongue-like organ covered in sensors
Ew.
to touch and feel its environment. The sensors catch particles of decaying meat, notifying the meat snake that there is food
I
nearby.
think that's how a real snake.
This process shares many similarities to regular snakes.
Yeah, exactly.
Hence the meat snake's name. Once it locates the corpse, the meat snake will open
the
its jaw and
song in the
swallow the
back's so
entire
creepy.
body whole. Once the entire body is consumed,
What the hell?
the meat snake's stomach will release a variety of chemicals. Some will break down soft tissue like skin
Ew.
and the connection points between muscles. Others chemicals will then ferment and preserve the tissue to keep it from breaking down for as long as possible. After that, the remaining flesh and bones will move along the meat snake's tract and slowly be implemented into its own structure, extending the meat
Are you
snake.
kidding me? So it uses the bones of the...
Unsat-
Wait, shut up for a minute. It uses the dead bones of the animals it captures to extend itself.
Unsatisfactory parts like skulls, pelvises, hair, and fingernails will
Ugh.
be excreted. Speaking of
Makes me uncomfortable.
skulls, the meat snake will take the skull from the consumed organism and use it as its own.
Are you kidding me?
Meat snake has its own skull.
That's a human face. Of course, because the snake that was being fed during the war, they were being fed human bodies.
What that one has consumed. During its lifespan, it will swap or replace these skulls if needed.
That is
A
mental.
meat snake's
Imagine
lifespan
being able to do that as a human.
depends entirely on how much a meat snake consumes. The longest one has lived for was 28 years. The meat snake
I just realized no subtitles.
has no predators and is immune to disease due to its preserving chemicals. The only significant ways a meat snake can die is through starvation, burning, or complete destruction of the meat snake's membrane coating.
So that's how you kill this thing. You just destroy the coating.
Interestingly, the meat snake is the only member of the Carnis family that is able to reproduce.
That is
When a meat
disgusting.
snake reaches an excessive size, and is in the conditions to do so, it will commence mitosis, splitting itself in two. Then the now two meat snakes will go on their separate ways and live on.
Can we just take that back? Look at that frame. I can just imagine what that would look like.
Splitting itself in two. Then the now two meat snakes will go on their separate ways and live on as two distinct organisms. Meat snakes can only be found in moderate temperature climates, not too hot.
Yes,
not
do you
too
see that? See that black spot right there? Ireland is safe. We don't have any meat snakes.
cold. Their population depends entirely on the amount of corpses available.
That
Where
looks
there
like
is death,
Ireland.
There are meat snakes.
That is horrible.
Humanity will use them to our advantage. Meat snakes are a very efficient and clean way of disposing of any meat products. The preserving fluid within the meat snake's body disinfects the carrion, preventing the spread of disease. Humans use meat snakes in butcher shops as a waste bin.
Imagine just walking into the back of a butcher's on your first day and you see some 16-foot long piece of meat eating all the meat that has been thrown out.
Dispose roadkill within war on the battlefield.
Yeah, that's
dispose
the
of
news
festering
article that we
bodies and
saw.
parts,
The one that
within
was like
zoos to
underground.
dispose of deceased animals.
In a zoo?
They are extremely tame, not caring of any creature.
That doesn't look tame. It looks like it's about to chomp whoever is taking that photo.
Is around them, only acting defensively when it is within consuming a meal. This means they are very easy to tame.
Why would you want to though?
Overall, meat snakes are a marvelous creature with a very interesting way of sustaining itself. It is an amazing experience to encounter
is
one,
vile.
as long as you don't mind the smell.
The smell.
Our next creature is the mimic.
The mimic. Oh my god, that actually scared me. I completely was not expecting that. The mimic. Man, what do I look like? Some sort of like superhuman. There's no way I'm reading that. Please tell me somebody else has read that. After being stranded at sea, the young prince eventually was cast to an island. Injured, the prince stumbled his way into a nearby cave. The prince used what magic he could to put himself into a healing sleep. Simply, how did you read that? Oh wait, there was another frame where it was more clear. Okay, never mind. So I just thought it was... Okay. Anyways, we are moving on to the next one. This one, from the frame that I saw, looks
The
a
mimic.
bit more creepy. I don't know why I just paused there. The mimic.
The mimic is a bipedal creature with uncanny similarities to humanoid anatomy. They
It's like Siren Head if you had a human head. That's horrible.
greatly resemble humans without skin, with added exaggerated features. These features include extended finger length, longer limbs, bulging, empty eyes, and their most prominent feature, a wide, teeth-filled smile.
Ugh.
Although it resembles a happy face, this is due to coincidence, and is only how their facial structure is shaped. The maw of the mimic contains much more teeth than humans, and their teeth is comprised almost entirely of incisors, with some canine and premolars in the back.
Perfect for biting on meat.
This tooth composition is ideal for biting down onto meat.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
swallowing chunks whole. A mature mimic's diet is comprised entirely of human flesh.
What? Wait.
Because of this, they are
Wait, what? So just human flesh, nothing else.
found solely around human.
Oh no. They're found in Ireland, man. I'm screwed.
Populated areas. The mimic's life cycle is made of 3 stages. In the first stage, a young mimic separates from the
That's
crawl.
horrible.
They closely resemble their trimming relatives,
They're just like
but
really
are
skinny.
thin, sleek, and only have 4 appendages. In this
That sounds
stage,
so
the young mimic will hunt small animals, moving on to larger and larger as they grow. Once large enough,
Imagine just seeing some like skinny little, like 4-legged meat looking thing just take down a deer and then it starts chasing after you.
it will begin metamorphosis into the
Ow. What's that noise?
next stage of life. Once fully transformed, it will resemble the description mentioned. Its hunting style changes
Oh
and
my
becomes
god, no. Look at that thing! Mimic locked inside home after owner
much more
escaped.
complicated. It now stalks and feeds only on humans.
Ugh.
It will locate human
Wait, there was something there. There was something there.
It will locate human populated area and begin its search for an easy target. To blend in, it may
Music's
use
getting all
objects
distorted,
to
hear that?
conceal itself. These include clothing, mannequins, and furniture. Once a
It
target
hides
has been
itself
found,
in
the mimic will
furniture?
observe its prey and learn its routine and when it is most vulnerable. This is typically when the human is asleep at night.
Ah yes, I also sleep like that.
Once the prey is within position, the mimic will advance silently until it is close enough.
No.
The mimic will then execute and immediately begin consumption. Once the
What the? That is horrifying. I'm scared to go to sleep now.
it will leave the scene, a fair distance away from the human population, and begin to digest its meal.
Stationary mimic found outside of town, presumably digesting last night's meal. See what I mean about it being so realistic? Like, it looks like a photograph. It's horrible.
Although, in the case that a human is awake, a mimic will use a variety of sounds to either lure or startle.
Oh my god.
In the case that a human
Listen
is
to
awake,
this, listen to this.
a mimic will use a variety of sounds to either lure or startle.
It sounds like something is knocking on my... Like, I have like a... you can probably see it. I have a closet right here. It sounded like something was knocking from inside my closet.
Prey into cornering themselves. Once a human is in place, it will swiftly attack and kill the helpless target.
Oh my god, this thing is actually scaring me, man. I am actually scared. I was wondering if we get video footage. Oh my god, no. Turn off the flashlight. Turn off the flashlight. Oh my god, that's actually terrifying. Guessing a mimic has broken into this person's house. I think you're supposed to open the door. Turn off your flashlight! What are you doing? Flashlight. Oh my god. Yeah, just shine a flashlight at it. Look how realistic that looks. Oh my god, no, 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 no. I have such a phobia of things peeking around corners. Hang on, I didn't even know what that's called, right? Phobia of feet. What? By a duck. You people have weird phobias. Scopophobia. God. I'm actually tearing up. That is terrifying. Maybe if you weren't shining a flashlight at it. Man, it's so realistic. Look at the teeth and everything, like. Okay. Man.
The next stage of the mimic's life cycle has two potential morphs it may develop into. If a mimic has a consistent supply of food, it will develop more human-like features. It will grow skin, hair, and by the end will look nearly identical to a human being. It now can blend entirely into civilization.
Are you kidding me?
And lure other humans more effectively. The second type
So how can you
morph
tell if they're a mimic or not? Maybe I'm a mimic.
happens when a mimic receives an overabundance of food. It will grow into a larger, more evolved hunter.
Bro, he looks like the puppet from FNAF 2. He literally looks like the puppet.
Its proportions will increase in length,
Elder
and
mimic.
its humanoid features will fade away.
So it's kind of like, it's literally the opposite of the other one.
Dark coating of a flexible skin, which is highly durable, and increases in strength the more the elder mimic consumes. This excludes the face, which is now coated in the pale pink skin.
Oh my god.
The mimic's teeth have also moved deeper into the mimic's throat,
Used to
leaving
pull
its
me
mouth
down.
a toothless grin.
While also shredding it as it
It
progresses
uses
down.
the dark hue of its skin to hide seamlessly within a dark environment. Its skills have also been heightened.
Skills.
This makes an elder mimic one of the most efficient predators on the planet.
That is horrible.
Because of the obvious threat this poses on humanity, nations around the world have released instructions on how to be able to fend for yourself in a mimic encounter.
Yeah, how do I protect
Here are the
myself
instructions.
against mimics?
1. Avoid going out alone if your location is known to have mimics, or there have been mimic sightings.
That's
2.
no crap, Sherlock.
If you encounter a stationary mimic, seemingly unfazed by your presence, quietly leave the location and alert your local authorities.
So I'm guessing that's when they're like digesting, like the photo that we saw earlier. The stationary mimic outside of town in a forest, which is terrifying, just standing still digesting its meal.
3. If pursued by a mimic,
Oh, for
get
Christ's
yourself
sake.
into a position where you are able to flee. Mimics will rarely attack if a person has a clear escape
Guess
route.
it's just not worth the effort.
4. In the event that you have been cornered by a mimic, roll into the fetal position, protecting your
Oh,
neck,
man.
face, and vital organs from attack. Make as much noise as you can to alert any other people. 5. If you have a weapon, do not use it. A mimic is fairly resilient, and any strikes or shots on a mimic is not
Really?
effective enough to bring it down in time.
What if you just get a perfect headshot between the eyes? You're saying that's not enough to bring this thing down?
Instead, use it as a barrier between you and the mimic to block any attacks. 6.
That's terrifying.
In a situation where a mimic is hunting in the immediate area, and is not aware of your position, hide somewhere low, like...
But I thought it said these things can hide in furniture. So like, what if, right, it's like, okay, I can't find him, I'll hide and wait for him later, and then hides in the piece of furniture that you're hiding under.
under a bed or behind other furniture.
Man, I can't hide under my bed, it just goes all the way to the floor. What am I meant to do?
A mimic will not linger too long to search for prey, and
Mimic will not linger too... I know I keep pausing it, but I just need to make this point. A mimic will not linger too long to search for prey. Maybe if that person hadn't flashed her flashlight right in its face, maybe she would have survived.
will move on.
Be safe, and avoid any encounters with a mimic at all costs. Next up,
They look
the
terrifying.
Harvester.
Harvest? There was a... Wait. Okay, wait. Is there another piece of the story? There is! But the mimics. Oh my god, this thing has just gotten into my head. But the prince's sleep was long. He slept for what seemed like forever. As he slept, the land around him changed and grew. It was unrecognizable from when the prince first arrived. But the sleep still needed time to heal the prince. Much more time. But it kept the prince safe while he rested, guarding him from the elements as the land changed. Oh my god, this is the person from earlier, isn't it? This is the person that got caught. She's being eaten. Look at the blood on the wall and everything. Oh man. More just splatters on the wall, like. That is horrifying. That's actually disgusting. Man, Darian Quilloy, you have created something amazing. I cannot believe that. Anyway, so the next one is called Vita Carnis Documentary 5 Harvesters. Hey, so Josh from the future. Basically, I'm splitting this video into two parts, so you've just been watching part 1. I'll upload part 2 in a few days, maybe 2 or 3 days from the time that I've uploaded this. The reason I'm splitting it into 2 parts is because this video is already getting really long and we're only halfway through the series. Just stay tuned for part 2. There's, you know, more stuff to come just as good as what you've been watching. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you drop a like, and yeah, I'll see you in part 2.